we have a release date, guys. March 3rd, 2017. The same day the Switch comes out. I'm happy. Like, I watched the live presentation for the Switch on the last Friday from the day of this recording. And it was like the 12th. That's what it was. No. It was Thursday the 12th. And I was watching that, I was like, if they don't show anything for Breath of the Wild, I'm going to be mad. But of course, they had to close the presentation with it because that's the best way to do it. And that trailer, what the fucking shit? Like, it started off like all the rest of the trailers, nice, showing the world, playing that fucking amazing soundtrack. And, like, the music in that trailer, it just kept going and, like, escalating. And it was amazing. And then, out of nowhere, it starts hitting heavy notes. And then, like, it starts throwing all this shit out at you, throwing all these characters, and, like, all this freaking intense stuff. We've got a lot to talk about. So, I'm not going to waste any more time. Here we go. First of all, I was partially right in the last video. If you remember, I said that this was who I thought was Zelda. It still possibly could be, but we don't know that yet because it didn't show in the trailer. However, this is Zelda. It's been confirmed. And I said in the last video that this one could possibly be Zelda in disguise or something. I don't know if she's in disguise, but she's clearly Zelda once you see the face of that character. And then, also, who is this? And this? And this? I'm assuming that's a Gerudo. That's obviously a Goron. And that's a Zora. Which begs the question, all these don't help a timeline placement because we have not had a red Zora yet. We've had the green, we've had the blue, we've had awesome blue, we've had a lot of Zora designs, but we've never had a red. When did this happen? And who are these Zoras, and why do they look fucking awesome? It's got a trident! How cool is that? We got this Goron up here, looks like a Goron always has, and we have, I assume it's a Gerudo, they got the dark skin, they got the red hair. The one minor thing, they don't have yellow eyes. Or this woman doesn't have yellow eyes. She's got green. That doesn't mean she's not a Gerudo, but because she's got red hair and tan skin. So, I mean, that's the obvious conclusion. That's a Gerudo, but we'll find out in March. And one of the big things I want to talk about in this video. Timeline placement. I've talked a lot about timeline placement, but with this trailer, it doesn't help. Every trailer they release, it does not help a timeline placement. So, these are the theories that I've legit thought about. Skyward Sword sequel. It is said in multiple trailers that this Link has been asleep for 100 years. And I got to thinking, this Link is right-handed. We've only had one right-handed Link, canonically, which would be Skyward Sword. Now, you can argue that in the Twilight Princess version for Wii, he was right-handed. But that's just because the whole game is flipped from the GameCube version, which means that he might be right-handed, but yet where Kakariko Village is supposed to be, like Hylia is in that version. So that doesn't help an argument at all. But if you do consider that the canonical version, then it could possibly be a sequel to Twilight Princess. Heck, even to the GameCube, it could still somehow be a sequel. But one of my main beliefs is that this is going to be Skyward Sword Link. Something has happened, I don't know what, but he was put to sleep for 100 years, and now he's waking up, and Hyrule is just ruined. And is being threatened by whatever Calamity Ganon is. Which that also kind of defeats my Skyward Sword argument, because Ganon was not in Skyward Sword, but yet in the trailer, the woman narrating has said that Calamity Ganon is a primal aged beast or something like that, and which means he's probably been around for a while and sealed. So that part doesn't make sense if this is a Skyward sequel. But unless there's like, I don't know. Now, if this is somehow going to be after Ocarina of Time, that would make sense. But Ocarina of Time Link is left-handed, when Breath of the Wild Link is right-handed. But I thought of something interesting. What if this is going to be around the time or after the Imprisoning War, and this game will be before Link to the Past, and the time gap between Link to the Past and Ocarina? Now, again, that Link was right-handed, but they are calling the chamber that he's asleep in the Resurrection Chamber. What happens to Link in Ocarina of Time for the events of Link to the Past to take place? Ganon kills him at some point during the game. Link dies. And the blood of the hero was just lost for a while, until it's resurrected or reborn in the Knights of Hyrule in Link to the Past time. So, maybe instead of fully dying, this Link was found by a Sheikah tribe member, was put to sleep or laid into the Resurrection Chamber, and over the 100 years his body healed itself in that chamber, and he was fully alive again, and then that's why he wakes up. There's a few points adding to this, because in the scene where it shows Link from behind, and the camera's panning up behind him, and you see like 3 Koroks on a tree. If you look in the last frame of that shot, it looks like there's a mouth moving on that tree. Could possibly be the Deku tree talking to Link. And around that time of that scene, you hear a deep voice saying, I can tell by the look on your face you don't remember me. And I think it's time, I think you're ready to know what happened in the 100 years or something. I mean, it seems like it could be Deku tree to me. I don't know. Like, there's no telling. I don't think it'll be a sequel or somehow leading up to Wind Waker. Possibility. Maybe it's before the Flood or something. Maybe this is why Hyrule was flooded. Maybe Calamity Ganon is the cause for the gods having to flood Hyrule. That could be an interesting question, or interesting point. But it's not going to be after Wind Waker. I highly doubt that, because we got Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks after Wind Waker. So it's not going to be post Wind Waker. At least that's just my theories. And we gotta also look at these races here. Because when did the Gerudo come back to being a prominent part in the scene? If this is a Skyward Sword sequel, when did the Gerudo come into being in this? And when did this... Ooh. Maybe the seahorses that we see in Skyward Sword, maybe they evolve into the Zoras. That would explain why we see some red ones. There's a lot of evidence pointing that this is going to be a Skyward Sword sequel. But then again, there's a few points that counter that. Like, mainly Calamity Ganon. But if this is... Like, which Ganon is this, though? If this is... like Ganon being sealed and then turning into Calamity Ganon. Which Ganon is this going to be? The Ganondorf from Ocarina? Ganon from the original? Maybe this is going to be after or before the original. And that would make sense why Ganon's back and has been built up into Calamity Ganon or something. I hurt my brain thinking about this because there's so many possibilities. It's hard to pinpoint when this could be. But, I mean, that last presentation was just freaking incredible. So, we have less than 2 months until this game comes out. I don't know about you all, but I'm fucking ready for this game. Please let it be 2 months and let me play it, and we will finally figure out when this game takes place. But until we figure this out, and until I can take the time to think of some more really good theories, this is it for this episode. You guys take care. We will see you next time.